and we're officially backstage at Riot Fest. I'm James Van Osdol. Car con carne all through Riot Fest, all through the fall, brought to you by Sopel Solar. Now is the time to get in on solar power. Get those panels on your roof. Start saving money the second they're installed, and for nothing out of pocket. Get your consultation now. It's easy to do. It's kind of fun to do online. SopelSolar.com, SOPELSOLAR.com. My friend Brent Sopel, former Chicago Blackhawk, he's going to take care of you. He's going to help you change your life. Basically, take control of your utility bills. Have cost certainty for the first time ever. Welcome to Riot Fest, and thank you, Sopel Solar. So, do you miss the 1990s, grunge, punk, indie, all the decades great music? What if you could travel back to the 1990s? See some amazing shows that you've only heard about and read about, or maybe just hang out in the middle of Chicago's legendary, it was legendary, music scene from the 90s. That's the premise behind this book, 90 Days in the 90s, a rock and roll time travel story, the ultimate novel about the 90s and Chicago's music scene. If you're a fan of music, if you're a fan of Chicago, this is the fiction book you've been waiting for. Join record store owner Darby on her trip back to the 90s. It is lovingly written, brilliantly written by my friend Andy Fry. 90 Days in the 90s, a rock and roll time travel story. Go to 90 Days in the 90s. Those are numbers, 90 days in the 90s.com to learn more. Or you can go to Amazon, of course, or wherever you buy books. All right, we are backstage at Riot Fest. I'm James Van Osdol. That right there, that's Mike from Boston Manor. Back in the States, lovely to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So was it last November you were here? You're at Radius the last time we saw you, right?
Say again?
Was it November when we saw you here last?
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. We did a tour with Neck Deep
That's right.
in November. And then we've since been back and we did a headline tour. So, yeah, that was just gone, I think, March, April. Yeah.
So as we're recording this, you have a new album out next month.
That's right, yeah. October 14th.
So Henry once said, every album tells a story. What story does this album tell from your perspective?
I think, I feel like, I didn't really write any of the lyrics, but like we've talked about it quite a lot, and it's kind of an album of, I guess, like addiction, I guess like losing control. And it all takes place with the backdrop of nighttime, so it's possibly like indulging in alcohol, maybe overindulging, going out, making mistakes, and kind of just like destroying your body in a way, like a lot of people do in the UK. It's kind of like we built an entire culture on it, and just like the journey of the protagonist through the nighttime and encountering all of these different people, drinking, getting lost, and partying, going crazy. And I'm sure Henry also doesn't mind me saying that it's this is somewhat biographical, and it's been about him and his relationship with alcohol, because in the UK as well we start drinking from when we're very young.
Yeah.
And it got to the point, not just Henry but like all of us in the band, we were all drinking so much. And it became so normal. Every day you get shoved in a room and you get a bunch of like crates of beer and a bottle of gin or something just thrown at you, and it becomes okay to consume it. It becomes part of your job, and it kind of got to a point where we kind of all looked at each other and we were just like, yeah, we don't want this for ourselves, and we've managed to keep an eye on it. But yeah, the tour is kind of, a lot of it's based on, I guess, like our relationship with alcohol and how we can use it as a crutch and how we can depend on it, but also the bad things that come with that as well, So,
you mentioned how everything has kind of a nighttime feel to it, and I think you made that crystal clear with the videos you've done so far for this album. In Foxglove in particular, you've got that gritty nighttime vibe going.
We've been very meticulous about this record. The songs that we've written for it, we couldn't be prouder, because like I feel like it's just everything. The essence of Boston Manor just distilled down to these songs, We're super confident at the moment, and the way that they came together, it was so organic and natural. And then all of the videos, we've been working with a videographer called Zach Pinchin, and he just got it straight away, the kind of aesthetic that we wanted. And this the album is part one of a double album that we're going to be doing, and then we'll see what happens. We've not quite got it fully planned yet, but we want to do part two, which is going to take place during the day, and the dawn and the redemption, and a little bit of a lighter touch to it, all round. So.
Okay, this is interesting to me because I feel like the process of creating an album as a complete work of art, as opposed to individual a la carte singles, is kind of lost. Thinking about a group of songs as one cohesive artistic vision, I don't feel like we see enough of that in the present day.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this a lot, and we're all album heads. Like, we all grew up listening to, like, I think that stems as well from saving up all of your money when you were a kid, because we're all a little bit older, and then having to go to a CD shop or a record shop and buying a CD or record and hope that you better fucking hope that you like it, with the money that you spent on it. And there's some albums that, like, you absolutely get straight away and that you absolutely love them, and you listen to them front to back, and you read the lyric book, and you get so immersed in the world that the artist has created, and we love all that. And then there's those albums that you really have to work at to actually get it and enjoy it, and those are cool too, But yeah, we grew up listening to that. The way the music industry has changed now is everything just seems so disposable. The streaming platforms, everyone's just putting out singles here and there.
Yeah.
And I feel like the magic and like the essence of like an album, telling a story and like painting a picture, I feel like that's maybe getting lost a bit. So we're trying to get back to that. And it's been really fun to release singles steadily and music, but like it's been great to actually release an album that tells a story front to back, that people can be immersed in a world and enjoy,
I love, of the new songs, I love Passenger too. That song just flat out rocks.
Oh, thank you so much.
And again, there's another video. You've got the city in the background. You've got that grit, that kind of urban feel to it. I feel like that video completely nails the essence of that song.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, that was shot in our hometown, Blackpool, and we just wanted to showcase the town a little bit more and the people living there. And yeah, it was the last song that we wrote for the record, actually. We kind of just needed that missing piece to the puzzle, and we went down, and that was the one song that we finished the record on.
Was it written to be that kind of anthemic song, or was it one you had in your back pocket that you kind of reworked?
It's interesting you say that, because there was one song that didn't quite make it on the record, and it just felt weird. Like, we had it almost fully fleshed out and recorded, and we all sat and looked at each other, and we just said, this doesn't feel like Boston Manor. This feels weird. Like, there's something really strange about this. We can't put this out. And then there was one thing that did really stand out to us, and that was the drum loop and the drum beat that we used throughout the song. And I messaged our producer, and I was just like, can you send us the stems? So he sent us the stems, and I grabbed the drum beat, and we're just like, let's build an entirely new song off this beat alone. And that's where it came from. So it was nice that we made that song, and we didn't completely throw it in the bin, and that song kind of gave way to Passenger, and it was really nice to see that. So yeah, we used the drum loop and then built outwards from that, and it actually came together so quickly, and before we knew it, we were back in the studio recording that song, and it turned out even better than we expected, so yeah.
Here in America, I look at the festivals in the UK as something kind of special and big. In America, I feel like Riot Fest is the only one that all fits under the umbrella of just a bunch of cool shit. Like, it's one of the few American festivals that, like, start to finish, you're going to have a good time and see cool bands. What's your vibe being here today?
I mean, I've seen a lot of our friends' bands play Riot Fest, and I've always been so jealous. I always see the pictures, and then I look at the lineup, and I'm like, all of these very different sounding bands all here in one place. Very cool.
But very different, but they're all cool. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not just
it
a
works.
band. Yes.
It somehow works. Yeah.
Well, Boston Manor, I feel like as we're sitting here, we are days, months, weeks away from Boston Manor taking over the universe. So I appreciate you taking time.
I hope so. Yeah. We've been putting so much work and effort into it. Like, this next year will be 10 years that marks the start of Boston Manor. Yeah, we're trying.
Nice. I love the new stuff. The new album comes out mid-October. You are amazing. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.